Okay, this may be one of the all-time most fun episodes of the Ortho Show ever. Dr. Gus Mazzocca, who is just legendary in the world of sports medicine, has just the best story of his journey to becoming an orthopedic surgeon. It is involving a head lacrosse coach, almost becoming an astronaut, PhDs in labs, and he is just one of the most lovely, fun people on the planet. You're going to absolutely love this episode. Dr. Scott Sigman, hashtag follow the fro.
From medical media, this is The Ortho Show.
Hello, world. Dr. Scott Sigman, yes, your favorite opioid-sparing orthopedic surgeon here for another episode of the Ortho Show podcast, coming at you from Shoulder 360, the most dynamic, entertaining shoulder course in the world. We're so happy to partner and sponsor them. And we have a very special episode. I can't wait. Dr. Gus Mazzocca, who is the current Chief Division of Sports Medicine at Mass General Hospital, incredibly well-known sports medicine and shoulder surgeon. He's a professor emeritus from the University of Connecticut, as well as the past professor and chairman of the Department of Orthopedics at the University of Connecticut. Gus, what a pleasure it is to have you on the show.
Thanks, Scott. It's great to have me. I really appreciate it. It's a great honor.
Oh, you're very welcome. Now, look, we have a lot of stories as to how people sort of get to medicine. We'll talk about that in a little bit because I really love your journey. But where were you born? Are you a Connecticut guy in and out, through and through?
Yeah, Connecticut guy, born in Willimantic, Connecticut. My dad was an art professor for the University of Connecticut. My mom was the executive director of the legislative office building for the state of Connecticut. So we're Connecticut people.
Connecticut people. You and Kevin Rocco. I mean, like, Kevin from BioRes. Like, we always joke around with Kevin. It's like he only will look for a job in Connecticut. There's no other options, Mo. But you did make it across to Massachusetts, so congratulations. But we'll talk about that. But it's wonderful. So, all right. So you're off to college. Now, if I'm not mistaken, medical school is not looking good in college.
Do you want to go before college? Because that's quite a story.
Yeah, of course.
So I was a wrestler, and I thought I was a much better wrestler than I ended up being. So I thought that wherever you got a letter to go, they were recruiting you. So I actually didn't get accepted to any colleges. But since my dad, worked for the University of Connecticut, I was able to be accepted to the University of Massachusetts. So from there, I walked onto their wrestling team. But I didn't get in at first. I got all rejection letters.
Oh my gosh. But the destiny was still there. I mean, because you weren't giving up. There was no way, right? So, but it was a path, right? So college, you were thinking medical school in college at that point too?
Yeah, then I transferred. I got injured wrestling at UMass, transferred to Denison, played lacrosse there as a face-off person, not really a lacrosse player because I was a wrestler that faced off. But at Denison, I was eliminated from the pre-med program and advised that no way you'd be able to go to medical school in the United States, but maybe somewhere internationally. And I remember being so confused by that because I asked the advisor, I'm like, if you don't think I can handle medical school with English speaking, how do you think I'm going to figure it out in non-English speaking? Did you see my French grade?
I love it. So, all right, but you're not giving up. I mean, you're Gus Mazzocca. You are not giving up, right? So you're gonna take a gap year or two, or you're gonna get a master's degree, and you're looking for a paying job while you're getting your master's.
No.
No?
So I had always, I really enjoyed kind of physiology, and I was very interested in, what happens when you train muscle hypertrophy, and then what happens after that. So kind of muscle physiology always fascinated me, and I really enjoyed that. So out of college, I applied and I went to Springfield College, which is a small school in Massachusetts, for physiology, exercise physiology, studying muscle physiology. And so then I was an assistant lacrosse coach there.
Well, but wait, didn't you take the head lacrosse job
Well, that's
too?
after I got there. So I
Okay.
got there, and the University of Hartford, which is about 40 minutes away south on 91, had recently gone Division One. So when your basketball or your football team goes Division One, all your sports go Division One. Now the University of Hartford had gambled because they wanted to get more kind of more students, more interest, more excitement about the University of Hartford. So they didn't really have a budget for all those sports to go Division One. So yes, I was hired as their Division One lacrosse coach for $3,000 a year. So they had a budget for that.
Well, it's funny. I'll tell you a funny story. So I played lacrosse at Tufts. I mean, they're national champions almost every year
Yeah.
now. Back in the day, not so much. But in 1985, I won the MUJP award for our lacrosse team. The most useless Jewish player. So that's another fun lacrosse story as well. But no, I love that you were able to still do that. You're in a paycheck, you're getting your master's in physiology, and you're becoming an expert in muscle science, which is really fascinating because your next move in your journey on the chessboard of life is all of a sudden astronauts are calling.
Well, no astronaut ever called, but that's nice of you to say. So my advisor while I was at Springfield ended up taking a job at NASA because at that point in the kind of mid 80s, they were planning for space station. They were planning on construction in zero gravity. So all of a sudden, muscle atrophy became a big deal for the Johnson Space Center and NASA. So he went down there and took a job. We were supposed to work together that summer, and he felt bad. So I actually went down there with him to help put in his yard. That's how I paid the rent to stay with him. And then I actually had a visitor badge for the Johnson Space Center. And the funny story is that with this visitor badge, I just kept showing up every day. So the security guys are like, we have to hire you because you can't just keep coming with the visitor badge every single day. So I almost got a job by just showing up there every day.
But you did. You worked.
I got the job. Yeah. No, I got the job.
Yeah.
No,
And you did it, which is a really important thing. I mean, space travel and all the things that we're doing. I mean, it was a big deal. Now, was there ever a moment when maybe Gus Mazzocca was going to put the suit on himself? Was there an opportunity?
So as part of my job there, I took all scientific and medical operations equipment that was going to fly or potentially would fly in the shuttle at that time in this zero gravity simulator, which is a KC-135 jet that flies parabolas. So it gives you about 30 seconds worth of zero gravity. And I would help with those things. We would look at them, how they function. In those days, computers were just, you know what I mean? Like this is the early days, right? So no one knew how a computer would function in zero gravity, how different machines would function. So that's kind of what we did. So I did that a lot. And then I did apply to be an astronaut. And I was absolutely the first guy eliminated from that application process. But my roommate became an astronaut. So
that's super cool.
Yeah, that was really exciting. And it was, so I vicariously, I kind of was part of that process.
I love
David Wolf, Dr. David Wolf, great guy.
I love it. So, but look, I mean, that work that you did at NASA gets added to your CV. And you're still not giving up on medical school, and that propels you into medical school in your career.
Oh, not yet, my friend.
Oh my gosh, we have more. We're gonna need a little bit more time. Just keep going. We're all good.
So at that time, as I'm working there, the Johnson Space Center does want to kind of develop their own scientists, right? Instead of having to put grants out and look for somebody. So they had set up with Wright State in Dayton, Ohio, which at that time had a flight surgeons fellowship. So a lot of the flight surgeons that worked at NASA would train at Wright State, Wright-Patt Air Force Base, and then come down. So they started with their biomedical sciences program, a PhD program that the Johnson Space Center was going to fund. So I was actually a PhD student at Wright State.
Oh my God.
And we were looking, it was great research where we were doing a lot of muscle, acid-base balance in muscle cells And the MRI had been invented, of course, but we were starting to do more research with the MRI. And I was really excited where you'd have the whole muscle. We'd be able to see all the different curves of the ATP getting broken down to ADP, et cetera. So I got really excited about that. And my advisor at that time was really excited about the micelle had just been discovered. So you can make your own lipid bilayer and plop a protein in it and then study that. And he was really excited about that. And he was a great advisor to me. And he said, Gus, this business is not for you.
Again,
He's like, look, this is
You're
the
a
way
people
this science
person.
goes. That's what he said. He was a great
You gotta be
advisor.
taking care of people.
And he
not
said,
sense.
he's like, look, this is not for you. You got to try to go to medical
Oh, I
school.
love it. Good for you. And so, and then back to UConn at that point.
So yeah, I applied to medical school, and I really think that Dr. David Wolf's letter of recommendation, who was an astronaut at that time, I really think that got me in because it wasn't the grades or the
You know, to be
MCATs
to
or-
be perfectly honest, I mean, you don't have to be, super smart to do what we do, right? I mean,
No.
it is manual dexterity. It's, the concept of how you think, I think, is more important than
Yep,
what your organic
agree.
chemistry
I
score
agree.
was for sure. But again, so sports medicine, your lacrosse days, you're feeling like sports is sort of the way to go, and you go to Rush to work with one of the legends, Bernie Bach, to do your sports medicine fellowship?
Yeah, so that's a great story. So residency at UConn, tremendous training. And Bob Arciero's there. So he just gets there and we start to really learn, Dr. Fulkerson had been there from the knee side, but so it was great. And, Rush, which is, one of the top fellowships now, was not a top fellowship when I applied. It was like Tufts when you played.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
So you and I have
all right.
advanced because of
Yes.
Rush became unbelievable
Right.
after I was accepted there.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sure
so-
you were an amazing fellow.
I don't
Never
know, but it
felt
was
that,
great training. Very great training.
And so then you come back to UConn and arguably develop one of the greatest work marriages in the history of orthopedics. Your brother of another mother, Bob Arciero, and the two of you, really run that program with Fulkerson, obviously, but in Connecticut. Tell us about the amazing experience it's been, what was working with him as well.
Oh yeah. Bob Arciero is just an amazing person. So knowledgeable, but also so critical of ourselves and how we can do things better, always trying to make things better, always looking for different and more ways to improve care. Yeah. And, my wife, Jennifer, teased me like my first year because I would have Dr. Arciero come into almost all my cases, right? Like he would be there. So I joked that I did another 10 to 15 year fellowship with him. We operated next to each other. It was a special time and I miss him dearly. I'm getting choked up.
I know. Well, you should. You guys were awesome together. You still are. You guys are dear friends still. But it's interesting. You took your time, PhD, and all this muscle stuff.
I didn't
you were
get the
doing.
PhD.
Okay,
though.
but you were still working there, and now you decide you're going to maintain your science, right? Science is important to you, and so then you start this lab at the University of Connecticut, and you are still one of the only true orthopedic surgeons that understands the stuff that we're doing at the cellular level and all of those things. And I know you're very passionate and very happy about the work that you've done in your labs.
Yeah, let me say a couple things about that because that's important. You need an amazing team to do that. So the team that does the cell biology, all the medical students, residents, and fellows, Mary Beth McCarthy, who works in that lab, those are the people that really understand it and push, and those are where the ideas come from. And then, we try to modulate that. Biomechanically, same type of thing. So ideas, and I would try, and encourage others that are interested. You don't have to understand all of it. You just have to have passion for it and you can do it.
No, I think that's great. But I mean, I think that the science, there's just not that many orthopedic surgeons that truly believe in the science and want to work the science in addition to all of the other things that we do. So,
but everybody's got a problem. And that's kind of how we get our ideas for those research projects is what are we having problems with in the OR? What are we having problems with in the clinic? Where are the problems? And then let's just try to figure them out. So it's not like, we're not doing, crazy research that's really spectacular. It's just trying to solve problems that we have every day.
But that's important. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what we do. Our job, we're not saving lives, but we're saving function. We're keeping people moving. We're doing our best to get them out of pain and maintain their lives in their society.
But
So,
I also say, and sorry to interrupt,
Yeah,
I know
no.
it's probably not right.
no, it's
but
rude, but it's okay.
I do think that we had a partnership with industry at that time in the early days when it was before the Sunshine Act and AdvaMed, where it was easier to have a partnership where we were able to get equipment, get cadavers from Arthrex, and we would be able to do different things based on what we wanted and then feed that information to everybody else. So we were really critical about publishing it. So it was peer reviewed. We knew we had a conflict with Arthrex, but the partnership really was exactly that, a partnership.
Yeah, I mean, look, industry needs key opinion leaders, and we need the ability to partner with industry to move things forward. So I think there's a fair balance in there. We're probably doing it better now than we've done it in quite some time. This is a perfect example here at Shoulder 360, the ability to communicate back and forth with the exhibit hall being close by. So I really do like that. All right, so all of a sudden, I'm like, this amazing work marriage is breaking up. I mean, the Beatles are breaking up here, and you decide to take a new job at Mass General Hospital. That's a big deal. What was going on? Yeah, no, politically correct. We don't have to get anybody mad or upset. Let's keep it above board. But all right, let's ask you this: how's the job doing at Mass General?
Job at Mass General is an unbelievable opportunity. It's an amazing facility. It's got amazing history. It's got amazing people that work there. We're working towards trying to improve in areas that we think we can improve on. They've been able to support the bioskills lab, the biomechanics lab, and the cell biology lab. So that's getting built. We're moving in equipment now. We're very excited. I think that'll do a great I think and I hope it'll do a great thing about bringing all of those great resources together so that there can be even more collaboration and we can go even further.
All right, so that's a positive message. We got a good positive message out of that for
You
sure.
want to hear about why I left UConn?
No, we don't have to go there. I don't want to piss anybody off, and I don't want you to get worried or concerned. But anyway, so have you moved up in the starting rotation yet at this point?
No, I'm good. 7th string guy. I got a hat on and carrying the clipboard.
So you got JP Warner, you got Bassam El-Assad,
Tom Holovax, Mark Price, Evan O'Donnell. We got some greats.
You got some great people, great partners, and I'm sure you guys all work together and develop consensus. And it's all about the education and all the important things that you're doing in addition to patient care. Look, Gus, this has been fantastic. You are such a fun person to be around. You have just tremendous experience. You always bring, your A game when you come to these meetings for sure. I always look forward to hearing about what you're doing. I want to thank you for all of your contributions to orthopedic surgery, to the science of orthopedic surgery, and all of the wonderful people you have educated. We thank you very much. You've been
Thanks,
amazing.
guys. Great. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. This is Dr. Scott Sigman, #FollowTheFro, host of the Ortho Show. Till next time.